Sandbox politics. Lately, I've been enjoying working on song videos and spending some time alone. I've been wasting lots of time on Facebook, YouTube, and Netflix, and pretty much hiding from the surreal world absurdities by playing my city builder computer game Caesar 4, an old computer game I still love to play. I find it hard to listen to my social media pals, Lee Camp, Jimmy Dore, and the Young Turks, Debbie the Sane Progressive, Tim Black, and Claudia Stauber, or many of your political posts. I tried to live up to my vow of boycotting Trump videos, mostly because I just can't stand his conceited, whispery voice and his 1950s James Bond wannabe, celebrity apprentice, president, corporate spokesman narcissism of the great ethos of dig me in all of our millionaire American politicians. Bernie Sanders, like Moses, showed us a way through the wasteland, but couldn't cross over to the promised land with his people. He caved into the pharaohs of the establishment. Elizabeth Warren may have persisted, but she's still a Democratic celebrity spokesman for the warmongering and world-devouring beast of cutthroat gangster capitalism and the great American ripoff. For decades, I've been singing, writing, painting, teaching, preaching, and living the truth about the killing off of all life on the planet by short-sighted, conceited, and petty little mobsters who have stolen our republic through extortion, exploitation, militant empire, and rabid self-interest of psychopathic levels of egomaniacal planetary matricide. Terror stalks the world in our name as the united corporations stride across our planet, fighting for oil and poppy fields to ensure the poisonous cash cows of the sociopathic status quo, as they continue to strangle the progression of the human race to a more sustainable, life-affirming, and spiritual, nature-centered global civilization. Instead, keeping us chained to obsolete and poisonous substances and industries, toxic, unnatural processes, economic wage slavery, unjust and oppressive mass incarceration, ecological genocide for all life, and perpetual war for the profit of the very, very few. Since the treason of the selection of George W. Bush in 2000 and the 9/11 attacks, the assassinations of the brave and the true since Abraham Lincoln, including the deep state murder of John Lennon, I have become increasingly disgusted by the sandbox politics and the celebrity circus of our so-called representatives in Congress, the presidency, and the Supreme Court. All the three independent branches of our government and the fourth estate of media have been bought up by the corporations until they are nothing but TV spokesmen and propagandists for the powers that rule and ruin the world. We are all immense spiritual infinite beings having a finite mortal experience. Our civilization should be progressing by leaps and bounds beyond fossil fuel, pharmaceutical poisons, death-dealing heroin, and other deadening opiates, cocaine, alcohol, and tobacco, for more organic substances like cannabis and psychoactive mushrooms and natural remedies. Our humanity should be increasing with our compassion, not creating militant empires that reduce us all to consumers for oil and the plastic cheap baubles that make Walmart obscenely rich. We could be living that life of paradise if we weren't being enslaved by these gangster capitalists that have more billions than any nation on earth. We must find the will to rise up against this tyranny of the corporate states and demand a complete change, a revolution of evolution, to manage our progression to a nature-centered, life-affirming consciousness that seeks harmony and balance, not exploitation, violence, and maniacal accumulation of unimaginable personal wealth. The sleeping prophet, Edgar Cayce, said in a trance in the 1930s that the young president will be killed in office. When they asked him what would happen after, his simple reply was chilling: mob rule. We are being ruled by maniacs for maniacal purposes. John Lennon. When treason prospers, none dare call it treason.